Every November, the world reminds us to be thankful. We gather around tables, say a few words, maybe make a list of blessings, and for a moment, we feel it, the warmth, the connection, the love. But then life speeds back up, and the feeling fades. Because somewhere along the way, we've been taught that gratitude is an event, something we visit once in a while, instead of a state of being that we can live from every single day. Gratitude isn't meant to be seasonal. It's meant to be spiritual. It's not a polite gesture or a holiday ritual. It's a frequency, a living, breathing vibration that, when embodied, transforms the way you experience everything. When you live in gratitude, you don't just say thank you, you radiate it. And because life is reflective, it mirrors your inner state back to you. So when you vibrate with genuine gratitude, you attract more of what you're thankful for. It rewires your mind, it softens your heart, it expands your entire energetic field. And that's not poetic language, that's real, measurable transformation. And today, I want to help you see and feel what it truly means to live in gratitude. Not to just talk about it, not to just think about it, but to integrate it. To embody the kind of thankfulness that lifts you out of fear, shifts your frequency, and reconnects you to the deeper flow of life that's been waiting for you all along. Most people treat gratitude like a reaction, something they feel after life gives them a reason. Someone does something kind, something goes their way, and they say, "Oh, I'm so grateful." But that's conditional gratitude. It's surface level. It's gratitude that depends on what's happening outside of you. True gratitude is different. It's not a reaction. It's a state of being. It's an energetic frequency that changes everything it touches, beginning inside of you. When you live in gratitude, you're not just listing blessings, you're aligning your entire nervous system with harmony. Your body relaxes, your breath deepens, your mind begins to perceive through the lens of possibility instead of lack. Gratitude trains your awareness to look for what's right instead of what's wrong. And this is what we call confirmation bias. And because life is reflective, what you focus on expands. It's not spiritual theory, it's energetic law. When you vibrate in gratitude, you literally shift your electromagnetic field, something we can scientifically measure now thanks to the advancements in the field of quantum physics. You start attracting people, opportunities, and solutions that resonate with the frequency of appreciation. That's why I say gratitude isn't something you do, it's something you become. It's how you tune yourself to the rhythm of life, the same rhythm that's always supporting you, guiding you, evolving you. And when you anchor into that awareness, you stop looking for what's missing and start seeing what's present. You stop trying to control life and start collaborating with it. This is when the magic happens. Because gratitude doesn't wait for things to get better. It's what makes things better. It transforms ordinary moments into miracles by shifting you, the lens through which you see everything. It was 2017, and I collapsed under the weight of pain and suffering. My father had been diagnosed with stage 3 cancer. My wife's grandmother had just passed. My aunt had been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. My business was barely paying the bills, and once again, I found myself struggling with my emotional state. I remember sitting in the car, feeling completely broken, and I just broke down. Tears pouring down my face, I cried out loud, "God, I'm done! I can't do this anymore!" And I meant it. I said, "You can leave me here in the valley, in the darkness. You can take me to the top of the mountain where I've been trying to reach for years and let me finally be happy. Or you can take me out of this system completely. Because I can't keep living like this. I'm done." And then I surrendered. I stopped chasing results. I stopped trying to force things to happen, trying to force my business to grow, trying to make life bend to my will. I just let go. But I didn't stop moving. I just stopped forcing. And for the first time in my life, I shifted my focus from what I wanted to what I already had. Every morning, I'd go sit in the bathroom, sometimes for 5 minutes, sometimes 25, and I would think of everything I was grateful for. Not just the big things, but the smallest details of my life. My wife, my children, my pillow, my bed, the covers, the shoes, my bathtub, the dresser, the lights, anything I could think of. I would just sit there and feel gratitude for it until I couldn't think of anything else. And I did that every day. My world didn't magically change overnight. I still faced struggles and difficulties, but something inside me shifted. I didn't suffer the same way anymore. The pain was still there, but the resistance wasn't. Life didn't suddenly get easier, but it became easier to deal with the struggles and difficulties. And about 6 months into this practice, new realities began to open. Abundance started flowing, not just financially, but emotionally, spiritually, relationally. My marriage deepened. My business began to thrive. Joy and fulfillment came upon me in ways I had never experienced. And that's when life, the life I'd been chasing my whole life, finally began to unfold for me. Gratitude was one of the keys that unlocked it all. Gratitude didn't just change my circumstances, it changed me. It raised my frequency, aligned my heart, and connected me with the flow of life that had always been there, waiting for me to stop fighting it. Gratitude expands life because it transforms the very energy you're made of, your thoughts, your emotions, even the chemistry of your body. Science now confirms what spirituality has taught for thousands of years. You can't be in gratitude and fear at the same time. Your nervous system simply won't allow it. When you're truly grateful, your body shifts out of survival mode. Cortisol levels drop. Your brain begins producing serotonin and dopamine, chemicals that create peace, clarity, and motivation. Your heart rhythm evens out, your breathing deepens, and that state of coherence sends a signal to your brain that says, I am safe, I am supported, I can create. That's the science. But the spiritual side goes even deeper. Gratitude is one of the highest frequencies in existence. It aligns you with the vibration of love, the creative force that breathes through everything. When you practice gratitude, you're not just thinking positive, you're tuning your consciousness to a frequency that matches abundance, peace, and expansion. It's like changing the channel of your awareness from static to symphony. And because life is reflective, whatever frequency you broadcast is the one that returns to you. When you live in gratitude, you literally open energetic pathways that magnetize more what you appreciate. That's not just mystical, it's magnetic law. You attract what harmonizes with your state of being. So when I say that gratitude changes everything, I don't mean it figuratively. I mean it literally. It's a total system reboot. Mental, emotional, spiritual, and energetic. Gratitude reminds your body that it's safe. It reminds your heart that it's loved. And it reminds your mind it's not in control. Life is. And the moment you remember that, peace returns. Not because circumstances got easier, but because your energy finally stopped fighting what is. So how do you actually live in gratitude as a frequency? Not just as a passing thought or a checklist in your journal. You practice being in it. Most people try to think their way into gratitude. They'll list a few blessings, say a quick thank you, and then rush on with their day. But keep gratitude in mind. The power of gratitude happens when it drops into the body. So instead of naming 3 to 5 things you're grateful for, try sitting 3 to 5 minutes in gratitude. Find a quiet spot, close your eyes, and just breathe. Then bring one thing to mind that you truly appreciate. Could be big or small. And then another. And another. Let yourself feel it. Swim in the sea of gratitude energy and bask in its bliss. Feel how gratitude begins in your heart, then spreads through your chest, your shoulders, your arms. Feel your breath slow down. Feel your body relax. Stay there until your whole being starts to hum with that energy. You're not chasing a feeling. You're remembering one that's already there. That's the practice. 3 to 5 minutes of pure, embodied gratitude. Not performing it, but being it. The second part of this is just as important. Use gratitude when it's hardest. When things go wrong, when life feels heavy, when your emotions start to spiral, stop, breathe, and shift your focus. Ask yourself, what is life trying to show me here? What can I still be thankful for in this? That single question has pulled me out of darkness more times than I can count. It doesn't deny pain, it gives pain a purpose. And then finally, anchor gratitude into your daily rhythm. Start your mornings in it. Pause for it throughout the day. End your nights with it. As you're lying there, just before drifting into the dream world, sink back into that same experience of gratitude you felt that morning. Let it fill you. Let it carry you. You know, there's a beautiful verse that says, enter his gates with thanksgiving. When you enter the vibration of gratitude, you step through the gates of peace. You open yourself to the divine flow that's been waiting for you all along. Make gratitude your baseline, not just something you reach for when things go well, but the ground you stand on, no matter what happens. Because gratitude, when lived consistently, starts to rewire your entire experience of reality. You begin to notice how much support is always around you. The timing of events, the people who show up, the guidance that arrives right when you need it. That's when you start to realize gratitude isn't a practice you do in life. It's a partnership you build with life. And when you live that way, even the challenges become sacred. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start saying, thank you for showing me what I needed to see. Over the years, I've challenged hundreds of clients to begin a gratitude practice. Not the surface kind, but the deep, embodied kind we've been talking about. And I've watched their lives begin to shift in ways that go far beyond what words can capture. At first, most of them resist it. They say, Mike, I've tried that. I already know how to be thankful. But then I explain, this isn't about saying thank you. It's about becoming thankfulness itself. And when they commit to just a few minutes each day of sitting in that vibration, something extraordinary happens. They start to see the gifts hidden inside the very situations they once resented. They begin to realize that life isn't working against them. It's working for them. Even the painful parts begin to make sense. I've seen people who came to me anxious, angry, or pessimistic become softer, calmer, more open. Not because their circumstances changed overnight, but because they did. The constant chaos that used to live in their minds starts to dissolve. Their nervous systems begin to settle. And what replaces that chaos is peace. Not forced peace, but a natural, effortless kind. You can literally see it in their eyes. The tension fades, their voice softens, their energy lightens. And before long, they start telling me things like, Mike, I don't know what's happening, but I just feel different, lighter, happier. Things don't bother me like they used to. And that's when I know the shift is happening, because that's what gratitude does. It changes people from the inside out. It replaces resistance with acceptance and scarcity with appreciation. It turns the most pessimistic person into someone who radiates peace. Gratitude doesn't just create a better mindset, it awakens a better self. And that version of you, the one who's aligned, peaceful, and aware, becomes magnetic to everything you've been chasing. That's the true power of gratitude as a frequency. It doesn't just change your circumstances, it changes your consciousness. If there's one thing I hope you take from this message, it's that gratitude is not a concept, it's a consciousness. It's not seasonal, it's sacred. It's not a performance, it's a partnership with life. You tune yourself to a higher frequency, one where peace replaces pressure, faith replaces fear, and love begins to flow effortlessly through you. When you live in that vibration, you stop chasing things outside of you and start realizing that life is already conspiring on your behalf. The doors that once felt locked begin to open. The relationships that felt strained begin to soften. And even the challenges that used to break you start to serve you. Because gratitude is what transforms how you experience everything. It's not about ignoring pain or pretending everything's perfect. It's about seeing the perfection that already exists within every moment. That's the secret to lasting happiness and the bridge to true success. And if this message resonates with you, if you're ready to dive deeper into this way of living, I want to invite you to grab a copy of Cracking the Rich Code, Volume 14. In my chapter, From Surrender to Success, I share my story, the moment gratitude became my lifeline and turned my entire life around. It's a story about healing, transformation, and the power of aligning with life instead of fighting against it. The link is in the description below. And if you're ready to take that next step personally, to experience this transformation for yourself, you can also book a free consultation with me. We'll work together to help you embody gratitude as a daily frequency, to shift from striving and stress into flow and fulfillment. Because when you live in gratitude, life doesn't just get better, you do. And when you change your frequency, everything in your life begins to rise to meet it. So start today. Take 3 minutes, close your eyes, breathe, and enter the gates of peace through gratitude. Because that's where life begins to unfold in its truest form, right here, right now, in the vibration of thankfulness.